What is up, you lot? My name is Saif and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm bringing you guys another collab video with someone that I've actually collabed before. Now, who are you?
Game of Percy 456.
For today's video, we're going to be doing a very interesting video, and today's video is going to be about the death predictions for The Walking Dead Season 3 Episode 5 From The Gallows. Now, this is how the structure of the video is going to go. I'm going to say a couple of names from the actual list that I've got, and me and Percy are going to discuss who we think is going to be alive and who we think could possibly die. So are you ready?
Sure. Yeah, I'm ready.
Percy, number 1, Javier.
I have a feeling that it's a little bit too obvious because I don't know. It'll be just like I don't know how he would die. I really don't see him dying, to be honest. Especially since not a lot of people like him.
Yeah, I also don't think he's gonna die. It's a bit too obvious. If he does die, everyone's gonna compare him to like the fake Lee 2.0 because I just don't see him dying, especially since people actually starting to like him, aren't they? And that was a huge problem at the beginning with a lot of people not liking Javier. So, are you ready for probably the most obvious one? Clementine. Yes.
I had a feeling you would say that.
So, do you think she's gonna live or die?
I have a feeling that it's a little bit too obvious, but then again, she could die. But I don't know. I feel like this story for Clementine and Javier will conclude in season 3. Not meaning that they will die, but like, you know, if they're in peace now or something. I don't know, because it's really hard to tell where it's going with everything, with the leaders dead basically, even though there's only one leader alive depending on your choice. I have a feeling since, you know, the too many characters can't stay alive forever, and well, Conrad has been surviving really long, but we'll talk about him later, I guess. And yeah, I really don't see her dying because then that'll be like too obvious. And this year is if they did kill her, I want her to have like a good death. Yeah. I don't want her to, I don't like I don't know, like her getting shot or something and then that's it.
I think it'd be a bit hard to, because they need, if they're going to kill off Clementine, which I personally don't think they'd ever do, especially since she's like a like sales figure for Telltale. So if they do kill her, they're going to have to make it somehow like she goes out like a boss, the #1 death of all time. Like she's going to have to go out somehow, and I don't think Telltale just have it to, you know, be able to top a moment like this.
Maybe like saving AJ or something. I don't know.
Yeah,
that would be kind of dumb though. I think probably just taking care of AJ all by himself.
I think it just depends on how they do it, if they're deciding to do it, but that's a no-no for me. Next one is Gabe.
I think he could die. Someone actually gave me a theory that maybe Gabe will die saving Clementine. That was something interesting I like. Yeah,
it could happen. It would feel a bit cringy, but you know, you kind of see Gabe, because obviously likes Clementine. Maybe she's high on his list of, you know, keep alive. So probably his dad and Clementine are the most closest people. Even more than Javier to a certain degree.
Yeah, because if you did not know, depending on the ending dialogue with Gabe will either stay with Javier or go with David.
Yeah, that's if you tell him to follow him or not, yeah.
So there's a lot of choices that could happen. Maybe if Gabe went with David, then he would die. Or maybe if Javier stayed with Gabe, then he would be alive. That's something.
That would actually be interesting. I'd really love to see how that would work out. But for me, I personally think he'd die. Not that I would care unless they try and make it a bit emotional. I think it could be like the Doc situation. I didn't really care for Doc until like the actual death of him. I kind of felt sorry for him, which was a bit sad. It was powerful from Telltale. But that's for Javier, Clem and Gabe. The next one or two, I'm going to put them together because they're both determinate and you probably know who they are. Tripp and Ava. Both determinate characters. What do you think their potential role will roll out as?
I have a feeling that either Eleanor or David will get mad at you if you chose them, because you know how you like you chose them and then you got mad at you saying like what the hell?
Yeah.
All that. That's what and there's a lot of different relationships. Like Clementine has a good relationship with Ava, Tripp has a good relationship with Eleanor and Conrad. So, and depending on if Conrad is alive or not, and that would just make it like a lot of dialogue.
I personally think that they'd die some way or another. I really liked Ava. I'm a bit disappointed that she's a determinate character, but with Telltale having so many determinate characters, I don't think they're gonna be able to pull the Conrad. Speaking of Conrad, probably one of your favorite characters, Percy. What do you think about Conrad's role in episode 5? Dead or alive?
Let's talk about his role from previous episodes. Now, obviously, he can die in episode 3, depending if you gave him a gun or not, and you can tell that he had really sad feelings and he was sorry for what he did. And episode 4, depending if you saved him or not, Tripp won't get mad at you, which is a really big deal.
That is pretty big.
And he could die from a game over death, which was something really interesting. That's opposite Telltale, like you know, like instead of getting the game over, Conrad actually dies. That's something I really enjoyed. Like that was really cool of them to do that.
Yeah, I think that's actually pretty cool how he can even die in quick time events. Now, I personally think that he will also have the same formula. He can die or stay alive. Now, if you keep him to stay alive, he will actually, I think his story will conclude and he'll just go off on his on his own, because he attempted to do that in episode 4 if you keep him alive. I remember, but I watched another person play it. He actually tries to go off on his own, but then obviously he kind of fails, so he comes to save Javier from the tear gas and stuff like that. And also,
I really thought he was gonna leave that episode.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's hinting at his potential conclusion in episode 5, because he even talks about the new Conrad that he's thinking about. So he obviously wants to change his personality and his morals, perhaps, which is why he's talking about the new Conrad, a different guy personally. But
I would be really surprised if he survives this whole season. Like, just imagine him. Like,
I think they've kept him this far. If they do make him die either way, it'll be a bit sad, to be honest. It'll be a bit disappointing. Not that I have him alive anyway, but since they have him, they might as well keep him till episode 5.
Yep, the issue is, if there was another season 4, how would they, I don't even know. We're not gonna think about that because we don't know if it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
so,
but that's what I'm saying. That it's gonna be a conclusion. He's gonna leave the group if you manage to keep him alive.
Well, maybe. Do you know how Jesus comes and they're with I think the kingdom? Maybe they'll join the kingdom or something.
Do you think? Oh my god. Oh, that could actually be.
Going to the kingdom.
Whoa, personally, you just brought a whole new theory. That is actually very interesting.
I just thought of that now.
Wait, you should make a theory video on that. Jeez. Conrad joining the kingdom. Wow. Do you think that could happen?
It could. We obviously won't see him in the comics, but if he does, we'll just know that he's at the kingdom.
Wow, okay, wow. So there's Conrad for Percy. You can tell that Percy really likes Conrad's character. He managed to think of all these mad solutions for Conrad. But
yeah,
steering away from Conrad, we meet someone called Eleanor. Her fate, Percy, dead or alive?
I have a feeling that she'll be alive, but there's a chance that she could be determined depending on how you kill her.
So, do you believe that perhaps the way Eleanor betrays you in episode 4 is going to affect people? Obviously, it's going to affect people's relationship in episode 5 with Javier and you as the player. But I also believe that since Eleanor is going to be she's known as a traitor now, and she snaked us to Joan and stuff like that. Do you think that she'll be determined, or will it be a definite death?
I have a feeling that permanent, maybe.
Yeah, because I guess you could. I think there might be an option to forgive her, or just, I don't know, 10 toy from her. Next character on the list is Clint. Now he's a bit of a minor role, but Percy, dead or alive, do you think he's going to have a more significant role, or do you think he's going to be a bit like Max? You never really see him in episode 4.
I have a feeling that Max, I don't know. The way I see Clint is that he's like a sweet, kind person trying to bring peace and make everyone calm. Well, that other woman, what's her name?
Joan.
She's trying to force the law and make sure everyone doesn't do anything stupid. That's the way I see it. Definitely. Maybe Clint will lose his mind and just shoot someone.
that could happen. I mean, I guess I don't think he's going to have a major role, so I'm going to say we're probably not going to see him. But if we do see him, I think he'll die eventually anyway, because he is a determinant and he's not even that important.
I have a feeling that he'll copy the same role as Joan.
Yeah.
Be in a position.
I could see that. Right. Okay. This is probably the most least significant character, but he is someone that is also determined. Now, Lonnie, he's dead for me already because I had the shootout scene, and he's dead for you as well because you had the shootout scene. He's still alive for those who are actually had the not the shootout scene, but the held hostage scene. So, what do you believe could occur there?
Did we ever see him in episode 3? Not episode 3, but episode 4.
No, I don't think you actually see him. I'm not sure.
Yeah, because they only mentioned that he's dead, or
for me, they were they just kind of implemented his death by saying, you made a mistake when you shot Lonnie, David, or something like that.
Maybe he'll be a threat in episode 5, and maybe he'll kill someone.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of determinate characters and characters that we have not seen, so it will be very interesting to actually see.
Yeah.
Now, another determinate character is Joan. Now, I want to link Joan as well with Lingard, Dr. Lingard, because he's also determinate. So, Joan and Lingard, what do you think of their fate? Dead or alive by the end of episode 5?
Well, Lingard, I have a feeling that he'll be alive to tell some information about the McCall Ranch. That's really important. That's something I actually talked about in my video with you. And Joan, she'll die, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
Only
Joan...
no choice to kill her or not, maybe.
Yeah, I think that could happen, because Joan, I think there's obviously, I think, you could see that Clementine and Javier are getting closer, so the story's kind of combining. They saw the crossroad and now they're kind of joining the same road. Now, I think obviously Javier and Clementine will obviously go to the McCarran Ranch, like we said in your video, but
yeah.
I think Joanne will obviously, her role would decrease and not be as important as everyone thought she was in episode 3. Okay, now we got 2 people. Now I wanted to leave those till the last because they're very important. David.
I think he'll be alive for sure.
You sure? Do you think he'll be determinate or alive or dead? Because there are 3 ways the Telltale games do represent fate.
Maybe he'll just die. Like, I don't really see him as a determinate character.
I mean, he is a complex character, but I'm not sure where his role is going. I'm not very sure about, because it's just very... I feel like I go blank when I think about David's fate, because I'm not sure what he's got. I mean, he's a very complex character, one of probably the most complex characters in A New Frontier, but I'm not sure if they got actual story for him, or is he going to what? Like, yes, we connected with him, especially in episode 4, but I thought it would be going somewhere, but not really anymore.
They definitely showed the flashbacks. The only flashbacks you think of is episode 1, episode 2, episode 4 of like the connection where you try to make sure, like, David's like, promise you'll take care of my family. Maybe that's like foreshadowing that he'll die, maybe? I don't know.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, that is true, that could happen. Perhaps, yeah, because he keeps bragging on about, especially the episode 4 baseball flashback, when he leaves, is going to be hard on everyone. So that could also be a foreshadowing about how even maybe Kate, who doesn't really feel love for David, will also feel a bit sad and regret about David's death if it happens.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of Kate, we are talking about Kate as our last and final person on the death prediction video. Now, Kate. Now, what happened in Kate? Give us a recap of what happened to Kate, Percy.
Basically, Kate got wrecked and got exploded in an armored vehicle. Armored, let me remind you, it's armored, so I'm sure she's fine. Yes,
So,
yeah.
There's obviously a lot of interpretation about her death and quote marks death. Obviously she crashes. The armored vehicle doesn't crash. Now, I think that's a very important role, because Telltale won't be lazy to just not reanimate a vehicle to crash. I think they made that on purpose. So, assuming she's alive, which 85% sure she's alive, do you think she'll survive till the end of episode 5?
I doubt it.
You doubt it?
I don't know, it kind of reminds me of, like, you know, the Jane scene, if that makes sense. Season 2, like episode 4, like she leaves and then Ruth thought she would never come back, and like, oh, that's it.
Oh.
And then she's surprised, comes back in episode 5, maybe, and then everyone's like, oh, she'll be okay, and then at the end she's basically determined.
Yeah, that is interesting. It could be very possible. But I do hope Kate stays alive. She's one of my favorite characters in season 3. Hopefully she's alive. I mean, Kate has had a very difficult life in the New Frontier. Obviously, she got shot by the New Frontier. She got blown up in the New Frontier. She's probably had one of the worst luck in season 3. It's a bit sad, but she's one of my favorite characters. A lot of people do love her. Now, I personally hope she's alive. Great, she got so much character development, and she just gained a lot of potential for her character by episode 4 as well. Yeah. I just hope she stays alive. Like, she's probably the most wanted alive out of this whole death prediction list, excluding Javier and Clementine, obviously.
Yeah.
But the final question before this video ends, Percy, if you have to name your preferred surviving by the end of season 3, who would you want to be alive?
Clem, Javier, does AJ count Lily? Because, you know, he's like, we don't know his face.
Yeah, go on, yeah.
AJ, Eleanor, and Gabe.
Why Gabe? Why? I'm getting triggered.
You should be.
Okay, now my personal surviving list that I hope is Javier, Clementine, AJ, and Kate. That's my surviving list that I hope stays alive. That's obviously what we wish for if Telltale doesn't decide to do a season 1 and season 2 by just killing everyone off, which is not good. So don't do that again, Telltale.
Yeah.
Other than that, thank you guys for watching this super long video. Probably the longest Walking Dead prediction video I've ever done. I mean, we're coming up on 20 minutes now, which is crazy.
What?
Yeah, exactly. The unedited version is actually... Oh my lord. The unedited version of this is 20 minutes. I did not think this would take that long. Wow. But thank you guys so much for coming to watch this video. If you did watch till the end of the video, drop a super like and drop a comment saying, what should they say because they watched till the end of the video, Percy?
Chicken butt.
Chicken butt. Say chicken butt if you made it to the end of the video. We actually made also another video on Percy's channel, Gamer Percy 456. We made a video about the McCarroll Ranch and AJ's, Clementine's, and possible returning characters. So please, let's get also Percy to 1,000 subscribers. He's coming up on 1,000 very quickly, and
yeah, I'm surprised.
Yeah, let's go surprise him. Let's speed up the process. Other than that, thank you guys for watching, and in a bit.